everyone, this is Becky from patchworkposse.com, and I thought I'd just show you around my sewing studio. So last year we moved, or it's been 2 years, I don't even know, anyways, and found out we had a lot of problems in our basement, so we had to redo it, and all my stuff stayed over at the other house because we were renting it out in the backyard in the cottage. And we finally have got my space set up and finished. However, I'm not organized yet, but you know, I thought I'd show you a little bit around of how things work in here and whatever, and then how I organize things. So here we go. All right, so here is my total space. And if we look to the left, there's my door to the outside backyard. And it's raining right now and it's horrible weather. But anyways, so I call it the hallway. It's it fits everything, but it's nice and snug and tidy. And there's still a few things that I need to take care of, but we'll just deal with it when we can. So this is my long arm quilting machine. It's a WOW quilting machine. They don't produce them anymore, I don't believe. I've got it years and years ago. One year I decided it was the year of me. And so I went and bought my machine for super cheap. It was under $1,000, came with the frame and everything. I call it lovingly the Screaming Banshee because it is quite noisy and I probably need to replace some bearings in there. So right now my wall is plain. I do have some washi tape up there because I was hanging some stuff up and I haven't removed it yet. Anyways, then I have an ironing board, and I made this years and years ago when I first got the quilt machine because I needed a space to iron and didn't really have the space for it. So I made the board large enough that it crosses over the bars of the quilting machine, and so it saves a lot of space in here because I don't have to take up my counter space for my ironing. I'm actually in the process of finding a larger board and making a new one that goes longer down because I can. So, you know, there you go. I don't have, you know, a big window. I've got a super small window, but I did get these lights at Home Depot, and they are garage lights, but they're so super bright and they're long. And so when I'm standing at the table, I don't get a whole lot of shadow on the counter, and so that is helpful. This is my sewing area, and as you can see, I've got 2 drawer docks on each side and then my chair can slide in between with a long countertop. The countertops are from IKEA, and that was a steal of a deal. I got 2 of them and they're full length, so I didn't cut them down or anything, and they fit perfectly for the space. Above, I just installed the 2 shelves. Now, I have been going through my closet, which I'll show you in a minute, and sorting through things. So I just tossed everything on the shelves. It is not organized. It is not pretty, but you can see that I've got quite a collection of dolls that I've collected from other people, and swaps and ones that I've bought, and I love them all, and little pin cushions and stuff. So anyways, and then I do have a cutting mat next to my sewing machine, and that allows me to cut quickly without having to turn around, stand up, or do anything else. And my chair has wheels on it, which is super handy when it comes to moving in and out. My sewing machine is a Brother. You know, I've had it for 3 years, I think, 2 to 3 years. Works like a champ, super cheap machine, great for beginners, but do you know what? I love it. I also have a Janome, but currently I'm sewing on the Brother. And then here is the door to the closet. I will show you that in a minute. I just hung this up the other day. I'm so super happy to finally have a place for my thread and hoops to hang. And then the empty wall, I will be filling that up with little mini quilts that I have. So I still have yet to do that. So here's my sewing area, and then directly behind it is my cutting area. This is, I'm gonna back up a little bit here. This is taller if you can kind of see, it's quite taller than the sewing area, because the sewing I like to sit a little bit lower. And this area I'm going to be cutting and folding and working. This is my workstation, and so I need it a little bit taller. Again, it's got identical countertops as the other side, and then one cupboard where I can store things in. So I've got a lot of storage down here. But as you can see, I put them back to back. My room is super long, so I could have gone down the whole hallway with the tables, but decided to just do them back to back for ease of use, and it just keeps things a lot quicker when you're sewing and then you turn around to cut and then you can go to the ironing station. Now, here we go into the closet. Now, this is a little scary. I'm going to back up a little bit. So, the closet, you know, when we moved over here, well, when I moved my stuff out from the sewing cottage over, this was just kind of a dumping ground. I put everything in here. And this last week, I've spent a little bit of time, quite a bit of time, trying to go through things again and reorganize it. I finally got my shelves up so I could put my display items over there. So anyways, I thought I'd just really quickly talk about how I organize my stuff. So I have permanent shelving all the way around the closet. And then underneath, so I'm going to shut the door. Underneath these shelves, I have my Rubbermaids. And in the Rubbermaids, I've got like yarn, batting, Christmas fabric maybe that I need like once a year. You know, things that I don't necessarily get into all the time. And there's my roll of battings and extra cutting mat. So I do use the rubber bins. I try to keep it contained so they have the lids on them, but obviously some of the lids are off. And then that way I can, you know, no bugs or anything get inside of them. But anyways, it's always a work in progress, I guess. So we'll talk about my magazines really quick. I've got a lot of them. I have a lot of sketchbooks. I got a lot of books that I love. And right now I'm still going through them. So my magazines I lay sideways so they just stack on top of each other. They bend too easily. They don't have a hard bind. And so they cause problems, and it's just easier to stack them up straight on top of each other like this. I do have other magazines that are a little bit heavier bound, like Where Women Create and some Japanese magazines and such. Those I can stand up, so they work really well that way. I've got, you know, all my fusibles put together in an area. I have other smaller Rubbermaids that contain like beads, and one for zippers, one for elastic and Velcro. So, you know, I'm still going through things, but that's how I kind of organize my stuff right now. Up at the top there, I've got quilts that are finished that need to be quilted. So there's a lot of tops up there. Wow. Yeah. I have a couple, what do you call it? Sergers that I use. Haven't for a while. I need to dig them out and, you know, work on them for a little bit. I've got this little pile of mess. Funny, it's just tossed in there. I think I had an idea, but I'm not really sure what was going on there. Up top, I do have bags. That's where I keep my quilt kits. And so I've got them organized. There's papers inside, maybe the pattern, all the fabric that's needed. And I use just like clear zipper bags, so they're super easy to see. I do have my printer down here. It's connected to Wi-Fi, so it talks to the computer upstairs, but I'm tempted to move it back upstairs to the computer because then I don't have to keep on running down. Let's see. I've got, let me move my light here and a few other things so you can actually see what's going on. I have, I did go through my fabric at one point when I brought it over and just folded them. So up top on the top shelf, I've got like my funky fabric. So that's like twill, wool, corduroy, stuff like that. These two shelves got larger pieces of fabric that are folded, and then I've kind of put them into piles of lights, darks, colors, ones with crazy patterns and such. In the front there, I do have some jelly rolls that I need to start using, and then down here, again, just pre-folds with more stuff that I need to put away. And then below this, I have my Rubbermaids. I love these bins. They work so well. I've got, you know, buttons in them. One drawer is full of rickrack. Yay for rickrack. One drawer is full of buttons. Oh yeah, I'm a button maniac, so there you go. And then my other drawers I do by color as well. So I have a drawer for lights. I have a drawer for blues because I love blue. I have a drawer for blacks. I have a drawer for purples and yellows go together because I don't have a whole lot. But anyways, so I use a drawer system for the smaller pieces of fabric that aren't able to be folded and put into, you know, nice piles like this. So anyways, this is my sewing closet, and I'm fairly certain that you can relate, and I've got a lot of work still to do, but as always, you know, creativity is messy. And so this is, you know, the spot of the newest projects that I'm working on. This is a block from the Block of the Month Members' Choice for the online quilt group. And so that's it. So this is my area, and this is how I keep things. So that's my room. That's my sewing area. You know, it's 12 wide, I believe, and 15 long. It's not the biggest thing on the planet, but it works for me, and I try to make it work, and I'm still going through things and getting it organized, but that's how it is. There is a challenge on the blog if you're interested. It's all about organizing, 30 days of organization, where every day there's a new topic or spot that you can organize for the day. Your threads, your fabric, little bits, your scraps, maybe your collections and notions, decorating, how to lay out your room, and more. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the blog, patchworkposse.com. And if you're interested in sharing your own space, you can hop over to our Facebook group and load up your picture and show off your spot.